Imagine if him and all those guys from that era could see now, what it's become. It's just they'd be blown away, like with the popularity that it has sparked.
New Haven style pizza, come and take a seat. Ah-beetz, it's time to eat.
Charred episode 26.
26, baby. 26.
The second episode of 2025. Welcome to it. And we are here. We're starting off the year. We got a lot of cool things planned for this year of Charred. Like we said the last episode when we had Max from Lenny's on, big thank you to everyone in 2024 for our first year of the show.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very successful.
Oh, yeah. Who would have think we would be here still? I think, we've starting to get a growing population of people watching it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Thank you all the people who have watched, who've liked, who've subscribed. Definitely keep doing that, and we're just going to keep going.
One of our goals this year is to sort of build more of a set. So we have this, we're going to go to pizza places like we've done in episodes where we film there, but we want to build it up. So we obviously have all this artwork back here. We got the Charred hat, we got the cans. We're talking about doing something with this table, something
make
to sort
it like
of
a
make
big
it
pizza mat.
Yeah, like something to make it look a little more pizza. Now, as I acquire things, so our friend Michael Pollack from New Haven Pizza Club, for Christmas, he gave this Wu-Tang photo artwork that I have behind me here. Hold on.
Just show him the Wu-Tang. I'll learn something.
So he dropped that off for Christmas, which is fantastic. So we'll use that on the set. Big thank you, Michael. And then my daughter Grace surprised me last week, and she said, Dad, I drew you a couple pictures. And I was like, oh, great. Usually, who knows what it's going to be? And it's pizza, and it's actually fantastic. I don't know. Michael, you might have someone running for your artwork right here, Michael Pollack. But this is from my daughter Grace. Here's the first one, which I think came out really good.
Yeah.
Right?
But is that pineapple on there?
I know. That's what I was thinking.
That's pineapple.
I chose to think that it's mozzarella cheese,
maybe it's pineapple.
Maybe it's olive oil, pockets of olive oil.
That's pineapple.
It can't be pineapple. It can't be pineapple. And here is here's the other one. This is a full pie, a full circle pie. So great job, Grace. These are fantastic. I'm going to frame these. We're going to put these on the set too.
So we've talked about this before, but I had the pleasure to go to your birthday party and talk to a bunch of your friends, and you have this underlying thing that you don't like toppings. You just you're a cheese guy. Like they've been over your house and you only made cheese pizzas. Don't get me in trouble. And those pizzas actually have toppings on them.
That's not totally true. So I'm a cheese guy when I go to a place for the first time. If I'm going to a pizza place and I'm trying pizza, whatever restaurant it is, pizzeria, I'm trying the cheese first because that's the base. If they screw up a cheese, I know that they're probably not any good. But I'm into toppings. If a place has a specialty pie, if I'm making pizza at home, I'll put toppings on the pizza.
You're backpedaling.
No, I'm a topping guy. Cheese is number one. Cheese is the gold medal slice. That's number one.
Okay.
But I'll go toppings if a place has a great pizza. If I've been there before, we've done it on the episodes. We've been at restaurants before.
I know. I'm just telling you what they told me. Now I have no reason to make this up.
Gotta have a conversation with these people from my birthday party, I guess. All right. The next thing we're getting into something that you announced recently. Another Facebook group. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those crazy ideas, which is how things roll through my head. I try to, in things that I do in my life, I try to take things that I like to do and then can be able to have fun with them. So a lot of people know I obviously started All About New Haven Style Ah-beetz Facebook group in 2021. We've got about 20,000 people.
That's crazy how many members are on there now.
Yeah, it's crazy. So if you are listening to this and you haven't joined, it's free. All About New Haven Style Ah-beetz. But where you're getting to is over the weekend, I came up with this idea called parking lot pizza.
I like it. Such a good idea.
So the cool part about this is that, and I don't talk about it because we're talking about pizza,
right.
But I'm really into cars, automobiles. I have my whole life. Anything with an engine and wheels, I love. And so I said, well, I'm always looking for new ideas, disruptive things, kind of things that don't exist. And so this idea came to my head of marrying pizza and cars. And so I had a bunch of different names for it, but I came up with parking lot pizza because the whole premise of it is for people who have classic cars, old cars, sports cars, and you don't even really have to have a classic car or a motorcycle. We're going to meet once a month at a local pizzeria. I take that back. A pizzeria in Connecticut.
Yep.
And we're going to bring our cars, go inside, order pizzas, come outside, eat the pizza, have fun, relax, talk about our cars, talk about life. The big thing that I have is that we've forgotten to be human.
Yeah.
We've forgotten to laugh. We've forgotten to get out of the house. And so this is kind of one of those things that it gets your car out.
Yep.
It gets people out. And most importantly, it rings the cash register for the pizzerias.
I love it. I love it so much. When I saw you post this, and you had a couple graphics you were trying to do, and a picture of a bunch of people sitting around, like having some, it looked like a tailgate almost. It's such a great idea, and we were talking about this a little bit before we started this episode, but that it's not necessarily a car show, because a lot of people think like, oh, a classic car show, there's going to be trophies, but it's not that. It's just more of like a meetup.
Yeah, it's a meetup. It's a gathering that you can drive your car to. And if you want to talk about your car or not, if you don't, you can do whatever you want. So the picture that's on, so I kind of threw this out there.
What is the Facebook group, by the way, if people want to find it? Is it just Parking Lot Pizza
Parking
on
Lot
Facebook?
Pizza.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
Parking Lot Pizza Facebook group.
So join.
Yeah, join. I think it's only been out for 48 hours, and I think it had 300-400 people already.
Yep.
But I threw it out on All About New Haven Style of Beats. I threw it out on Connecticut Wonderful. Shout out to Eric Hahn. Threw it out to Things to Do in Connecticut, and it like blew up. Thousands of views, 200-300 responses. And I'm like, well, geez, maybe I got something here. And people were asking me, well, how do I get more information? I'm like, well, I'll just start another group. Like I need to start another group, like a hole in my head. So that's really the premise. And so some people are asking a lot of questions. And, you brought up a good point. This is not a car show.
Yeah.
It's not trophies. It's not classes. It's not anything. It's that if you have a car, and it really can be any car, but we like to see classics.
So I can show up with my whole family, open the trunk, and have a pizza if I want.
100%.
Even if it's not a showy kind of classic car.
Yes. The picture that I have on the Facebook group, I actually got during COVID because my wife and I went to Foucault in Cheshire.
Oh, yeah.
And when we came out, and there were, and I don't know, I forget the people's names. I'm sorry. They were out in the Foucault parking lot. They had lawn chairs and a table, and they were eating pizza. And I'm like, I knew the picture in my head, and I'm like, I got to find it. And went back and found it, and that's what it is.
Nice. Yeah, it's great. It's a great concept. Obviously it'll start up when it gets warmer out, probably in the springtime. But yeah, join that page if you want to be part of it. Keep an eye on what we're doing with it because, like you said, once a month at different pizzerias. I like the fact that it gives business to these local pizza places too.
Yeah, and so people have already been like, well, you got to make sure you tell the people before they get there. I'm like, yeah, I mean, this isn't my first rodeo.
Right.
We're not just going to show up with 100 people and then they're not ready for it.
And you have relationships with a lot of these pizza places already, and a lot of them who have big parking lots. So, I think as long as you give them the heads up.
Yeah, and hopefully if we're successful, it's going to be in this particular case, it's going to be a good problem. But you're going to have to get there early in some of the places.
Yeah.
We're not obviously going to have it downtown New Haven because there's nowhere really to park.
Right.
And that's just what it is. But we're also talking about, finding a big parking lot and having some pizza trucks there.
Yep.
The one other shout out I want to make out, and it's Amy, and I forget her last name, but she came up with a slogan, which is where char meets the tar. And I think
like
that's
that.
really cool.
Yeah, and it ties in with Charred. Yeah. Where char meets the tar. That's
and
great.
Char's going to be there too, the dog. So I'm going to take him a couple times to let people meet him. But yeah, I mean, it's just about having fun.
Yeah, that's fun. It's a great concept. I hope it takes off, and I hope we have fun with it once the spring hits. So we'll obviously keep people updated on episodes of Charred too.
Yeah, and maybe we'll even have a Charred episode there once in a while. But
do some social videos, things like that. Yeah. Awesome.
Ed's laughing.
Behind the camera over there.
Ed loves the remote stuff.
He's like, the audio is not going to work at this.
Ed, I'm a dreamer. You know that.
But you mentioned New Haven, and the next thing we're going to talk about, a bunch of people, I always say this, but people just send me pizza stuff. I love it because it gives me content for this show.
Oh, yeah.
And the video that everyone's been sending me lately is the Airbnb in New Haven that's pizza themed.
Yep.
For New Haven style pizza. So you saw the video, right?
I saw it. Bunsey, I think, is the guy that did it, and I think he's got a don't want to say hairdressing salon, but he's got a barbershop or hairdressing salon on
Yep.
State Street, very close to Modern. And I think he owns the building, so his business is on the ground floor, and then he renovated the second floor to be this New Haven pizza-themed Airbnb, which I think is absolutely freaking genius.
It's so funny. The title of the Airbnb post is your CT Pizza Palace awaits. Full apartment, entire rental in New Haven, Connecticut. It says, so you're coming to New Haven for some Ah-beetz, or maybe you're just here to see your cousin Lori. This is the place to stay. Capiche? Yeah, it's hilarious that they've created this entire thing. Like the photos, you could just search Airbnb to see it, but the photos are fantastic. I wonder if I book it. Let's see if I'm going like in February for a weekend. How much is it? Because I thought when I first saw the video, I'm like, they're going to charge like $1,000 for this a night. 208, not bad.
No.
For 2 nights, like $208 a night. I mean, that's what you pay at a lot of these hotels anyway, if not more.
For Fleabag hotels, you pay $150, $200.
And people always ask us, like, "Oh, I'm doing a New Haven pizza tour. You know, what do I do? Where do I stay? How do I do it?" Like, not that we're affiliated with it or anything, but like that's a pretty fun thing to do. Where you're like, "Oh, we're staying in this pizza Airbnb, and then we can walk to all the New Haven pizza places."
Yeah, and they've showed pictures of it. You know, it's obviously been on the news and in the papers and stuff, and you know they really went to a lot of detail, which I'm a detail guy.
Yeah.
So like the table in the apartment is it's a pizza parlor table.
Yeah.
With like the red leather chairs, and it's really cool, and there's pizza signs all over. You know, pizza, toilet paper, everything.
We should contact them, do an episode from there inside the Airbnb.
Now that's a good idea.
We'll have to make that happen.
Hey, can we do that? Is that too far away?
Better than the parking lot.
We got it this.
It's better than the parking lot.
Yeah,
that's
better
for sure.
than the parking lot. Ed does not like the parking lot.
All right, so this other article I sent you was in The Atlantic, and this is another one that a bunch of people sent me, that it basically talks about how you don't have to settle for bad pizza anymore because there's so many ways to make it at home.
Yep.
And I said, well, Frank must have thoughts on this story.
Yeah, and I do. You know, I read the article, and basically, I think it's a great idea that this person came up with, like one place that everyone can go and get all the options. Mm-hmm. You know, I think I forget the gentleman's name, but I think he has 2 unis, which are the portable.
Yep.
You know, you have an uni, and
yeah, those seem to have become the most popular, you know, sort of mainstream pizza ovens so far.
Yeah, and you know, they're really cool ovens, and they're quote unquote, as I call, sexy.
Yeah.
You know, I still, although I love the uni and I have one, I still think the best bang for your buck is probably the steel plates
In your home oven.
in the home oven. But to your point, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but you know, you can make, and I'm going to protect myself and say, a close to professional pizza in your home oven. And the same thing with an uni, any portable oven.
Yeah, why would that get you in trouble though?
Well, because there's some people that think you can only get a professional quality pizza out of a pizzeria.
You mean the oven? Like the pizzeria oven, right?
Right. And I tell people all the time, heat is heat.
True.
550 degrees in a coal oven, a wood oven, a gas-fired oven, electric oven is 550 degrees.
Right, but making the pizza, so like it's easy for you to say because you're really good at making pizza. Like
I'm okay.
You're almost like a professional. You are. You're like a professional. You teach the class. You're the whole thing. Someone just at home on a Friday night trying to make pizza. I mean, I sort of get what they're saying. Like if you're trying to make it exactly like a pizzeria in New Haven, it's probably not gonna without some practice. I mean, I feel like. Humbly, I've gotten pretty decent at it.
Yeah,
but I do get.
I've seen your progression.
Yeah, the broiler is the key.
You have to add toppings.
That's how you
toppings.
All the toppings. The broiler is how you get that crisp. That's the secret.
That's the secret. The broiler's the secret, and to add to half your secret, it's got to be 6 to 8 inches below the broiler. That's the other key. But yeah, I mean, as you've probably figured out, Kevin. the first pizza you made when we sat down with me, your wife, and your kids in your home. And so that was probably 2-3 years ago. And the pizza you have now are probably two different pizzas.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the first pizza I made was just completely black in that uni because I wasn't used to the flames, the whole deal. Yeah.
But it's like anything else. If you want to become a better runner, you have to run.
It's reps. Yeah.
And if you want to become a better pizza maker, you have to make more pizzas.
Yeah.
And you're going to make clunkers, and some of them aren't going to come off the peel, and some of them are going to burn. But the bottom line is when you fail, you learn.
And honestly, that's what makes it better. That's what makes the whole thing great is like as you're going because of it sounds like a philosophical life lesson, but the more you screw up, the better it is when you make an awesome one. Like it looks like anything else. Yeah.
I remember one time when I think I posted a picture a while ago where I made this, decent pizza, and I forgot about it. And long story short, the whole circumference of the pizza was not charred.
Yeah.
It was freaking burnt.
It was completely
to the crisp.
We say the quote all the time. It's not burnt, it's charred, but sometimes it is burnt.
Right. So what I did was I took a pizza cutter and I cut the whole crust off, and I just ate the rest of the pizza.
Oh, so just like the middle?
Yeah. So no crust. I took the burnt stuff off, and you got to have fun with this.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, it's not rocket science. We're not curing cancer. We're not going to the moon. We're making pizza.
It's not serious. Yeah. I mean, some people take it very serious, but at the same, like you said, it's fun. You're making pies.
Well, there's a difference between being serious about it and getting agita over it.
Right.
Like if you make a bad pizza, well, you make a bad pizza, so you still eat it. I want to give an analogy, but I can't because we're on radio.
But yeah, I thought that article, if people haven't seen it yet, we'll put it on our socials and stuff. But it gives you a lot of options of like, different, portable pizzas, how to do it at home, the whole deal. But like you said, I agree. Like, especially in the winter, the steels in the home oven, like that is the key. Because even pizza stones, I used to have a pizza stone like years ago. That doesn't even do it justice to what the steels do.
Yeah, it's very different. They're two different technologies, so to speak. I call the pizza stone a DVD player. The steel is the way to go. But yeah, have fun with it. Make a bunch, burn a bunch, eat a bunch. That's the thing that people lose is just that ability to have fun with it.
Yeah. Real quick, before we get to the last thing we're going to talk about, the Ah-beetz franchise. So we had this on our list today to talk about. Is that something you've heard more about?
So I don't think I've heard more about it, but I've seen that they're really starting to promote it.
Really?
They actually should be someone we should have on the show.
Yeah, because there's locations already.
I want to say Delray, Florida.
Florida, that's right. Yeah, Florida.
And I think there's definitely one, if not two, but they're trying to expand themselves, and they're trying to franchise.
Right.
And so, I tip my hat to them because they're the first ones and it's a good idea, that are trying to kind of take this thing that we love and get it to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
On a commercial standpoint.
Right.
And I think the reason why I put it down to talk about it is because I see it, it's constantly in my feed.
Yeah.
Ah-beetz franchise, da-da-da-da. And so, I don't know, I think it was just
it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. But this year, 2025, is the 100-year anniversary of Frank Pepe in New Haven. So 1925 is when they obviously opened up.
Right.
Incredible run, obviously, but like just a great story, a great family business. Like, and talk about Worcester Street. I mean, you know much more about it than I do, but 100 years is just crazy. And we're gonna plan an episode to do at the original location in New Haven this year.
With Kevin.
With Kevin. Yeah, from
not you, Kevin.
Well,
but the other
both, two Kevins. But yeah, Kevin from Frank Pepe. But how amazing! I mean, we went the whole first year of the show without going to Pepe, but it's good that we waited till the 100 year.
Yeah, Pepe is and will always be iconic. They were one of the first. They weren't the first, but they were one of the first. And, I always say this in business, you don't last a long time by accident.
True.
You don't last a long time by accident. And so, it's an honor and a privilege to have gone there. I started going there probably in my 20s, which was, 30-something years ago. They've been around a long time. They've had generations and generations of people come in and out of that place. Of all the I'll call it bigger pizza places that I deal with outside of the show and things like that, they're just genuinely nice people.
Yeah. Everyone that I've interacted with over the years that I've been sort of going there or working with them, whatever, I agree. Just like great, you have a big business like that. There's bound
genuine.
there's bound to be some people who aren't, but for some reason they're all great. Yeah.
They are. And, they deserve everything they're getting. A lot of people think that they franchised. Well, they didn't franchise. It's still owned by the family, and I'm sure they have investors and things like that. But the bottom line is that, they took a chance. And I think, good, bad, better, best, people are going to love it. They're going to hate it. They're going to say they sold out, whatever the case might be. But the bottom line is their great-great-grandfather, who could not read, could not write, came to this country, created a brand that now 2 or 3 generations are still thriving.
It's incredible.
Say what you want. You can throw mud at them, whatever you want to do. Ain't no way you're taking that away.
Imagine if him and all those guys from that era could see now, what it's become. It's just they'd be blown away, like with the popularity that it has sparked.
Yeah, I don't think they ever in their wildest dreams could have thought it was going to be what it is now.
And I don't think that's that's not what they were setting out to do in the first place. That wasn't ever on people's minds back then of like, we're going to make this the biggest pizza place in the world. Like they were just trying to feed their families.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of the original pizzerias, especially in New Haven and really all over in Waterbury and Milford and Bridgeport, there's a lot of other places that had pizza other than New Haven. But the main goal really was what you said, is basically to feed their family.
Yeah.
And then to feed their neighborhood. It wasn't like, I'm going to sell 1,000 pizzas and I can go out and buy this or that or the other thing. There wasn't a tremendous amount of competitiveness. It was just the common person pizza.
Well, happy 100 years to Frank Pepe. We'll be going there for an episode very, very soon.
I can't wait.
Me neither. That's gonna be an all timer when we do that.
I've been there hundreds of times, but I've never been in the back. So I want to go in the back.
We're gonna get the full tour.
Yeah, I want the full Monty.
Right. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and listening. Make sure you subscribe on all the podcast channels, YouTube. Follow us, social. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. We're into 2025, the second year of this show, which is amazing.
Boom.
And remember, it's not burnt.
It's charred, baby.
Although sometimes it's burnt.
New Haven style pizza. Come and take a seat. A beats, it's time to